Hi, I'm Andy from the UpRight team, and I'm here today at Chesterfield Football Club at our annual event, first of many, and the sun's out, which is fantastic.
So I'm Kirby, I'm Assistant Chief Constable for Crime and Criminal Justice, and today I'm enjoying the sun and enjoying this event. I was a keen biker for many, many years, including being a police biker.
Right, fantastic.
For quite a few years.
Yeah.
So in some ways it was an itch that was scratched. In some ways I'm looking at all these bikes and I'm thinking, you can't afford a bike, Dave. Don't get any ideas. Because it's in your blood, isn't it, I think, when you're a biker.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why I've come today, really, apart from some of the really important messages that we've got to get across, and hopefully we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I've just got that affinity to the biker community. So once you've done it, you're there, aren't you?
Yeah, I think that bikes is something that you just get so involved in. I didn't realise how much involved I would get. So I passed my test almost 2 years ago.
All right, okay.
Never ridden a bike before in my life. Decided after a couple of gin and tonics, I'm going to ride a bike.
Not directly after the gin and tonics, though,
Not directly after. There was a gap. Well, I was in Malta on holiday, so I had to fly home.
That's good.
started riding. CBT, Mod 1, Mod 2, bought a bike, straight onto advanced training, and 24 hours ago passed my ROSPA with a gold.
Hey,
so
well done.
That's why I'm aching.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you very
not
much.
easy, is it?
Within 2 years during the lockdown as well. So.
Yeah, that's really good going. So I got my test when I was 17, I reckon, which is 10 years ago probably now. And in those days it was CBT test, then buy what you want. So I had 400s and things like that. And then built up to, I can't remember what the biggest bike I had in terms of my own bike. An XJR 13.
I have a CB13, which is pretty much the same bike. Yeah.
I love that bike. That's the one that I sort of missed out on having. And then within policing, got into police biking in a couple of different forms, which perhaps we won't go into. But loved it, really enjoyed it, and did my advanced biking as part of that. So I get the grin that you've got, because when you get the yes at the end of all that training, it means something, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, you've had a wander around.
Yeah.
You've seen what we're doing.
Yeah.
What do you think about the event?
It's fantastic. I mean, honestly, up until today, I had no idea there were so many different groups involved in biking. I mean, there's stuff that we want to get out in terms of Biker Down, in terms of UpRight, but there's mental health. There's people obviously promoting some other types of work like blood bikes and that kind of thing. Christian bikers, so many different groups. It's fantastic for people to be able to come together, something like this, in the bike community, and share some of that stuff, because it's really important. I think, you're talking about Luke's legacy, for example, with dot bikes, and there's an opportunity through conversations we've had here to bring some of that to Derbyshire and potentially save lives, as well as saving lives by looking at what bikers can do to protect themselves. So it's really important, and I'd just like to congratulate everybody who's worked hard to put this on, because it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We've had such a great turnout, and we're really happy. We've got the sunshine.
I ordered that for you.
Thank you. Couldn't be any better.
It's great, isn't it? And the bikers being bikers, they'd come if it was raining anyway.
Yeah, I think they would, yeah.
That's great.
Do you feel that something like this, the engagement side of it, between the police and between bikers, is important?
It is. We've got some options, haven't we, about how we try and reduce deaths and reduce serious injuries on the roads, and one of those is enforcement. Of course it is, and that's fine, but we're never going to enforce our way out of the kind of levels of injuries and deaths that happen. It's necessary, but there has to be something else, and it's far better, as with many things that the police get involved in, if we prevent things happening rather than wait for them to happen and then then jump on people for traffic violations or whatever else. So in terms of and you remind me of the mantra, but wear the right kit, for God's sake, because for a couple £100 to have a decent jacket, it's not all got to be done easy, has it?
No.
It's crazy when you see people out in shorts and things like that because it's warm. It's just ridiculous. You just wouldn't do it. So you've got the kit. I know that the attitude, as a biker myself, that's what's going to save you more than anything else.
Absolutely.
And then the training, of course.
Yeah.
And I think there's some training that we're talking about here, isn't there, that people can access. And actually, it's not got to be expensive.
No, it doesn't have to be expensive. Like I say, I've just done my training, and it's done very cheap. You're paying a contribution to somebody that wants to see you as a better rider.
Yeah.
So it's not like going for your driving test or your bike test where you're ticking boxes. You've got somebody that's consciously trying to develop your skills.
Yeah.
And I feel I'm a far better rider now within 2 years than when I first stepped over, threw my leg over a bike and started riding.
Yeah.
And knowing what I know now, there's no way on earth I wouldn't have done this extra training, and I can't understand why people wouldn't do it. And that's what we're out here pushing.
Yeah.
And everybody that's done it says exactly the same thing. It just makes you feel a better rider, and you enjoy your ride far more because of it.
Yeah, and you know what? You enjoy the training as well, don't you? It's not like you're being thrashed.
You look forward to going out to your training, and I always say I'd rather be asked to do something than be told to do something, and that's what the training is. You're being asked different ways and your opinion of things, and your understanding of why and how the bike works in the way it does, and why and how the roads are used in the way they are. It just changes your riding completely.
If you're a biker, I don't know why you wouldn't want to understand that.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Do you think that further training is for everybody, or is it just for the people like me who's just stepped on a bike for the first time, or is it something that anyone can access at any point in their experience?
It's for everyone. I think maybe people sometimes think, well, I passed my test now. I know what there is to know. I need to practice. I don't think with biking, I don't think that's really ever the case. I think you can always learn something else. Yeah. If I was to get back on a bike now, and as I've said, there's lots of nice bikes around and they're kind of tempting me a little bit. If I was to do that now, I would definitely go out and do a course first. And that's as an advanced police biker or ex-advanced police biker.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at that then, because some of the best trained bikers in the world are British police bikers. Yeah. They just are. Well, they don't stop when they pass their test. And my instructor said to me, this is the start, now you're over the line, now you've got to go learn.
That's literally what the guy said to me yesterday.
There you go, and that's after a month. In fact, it was a bit longer. I think it was 5 weeks of intense riding, hundreds of miles a day, in all circumstances, with track work to learn about just how far you can push a bike, all that stuff. And at the end of it, he says, basically saying, don't get cocky, Dave. You've just about got over the line, now go learn. And throughout your career as a police biker, so again, in that top tier, you're constantly doing refresher training, you're learning extra stuff. Every year you're doing a week's intense training. You can always learn more.
Absolutely.
It's not for the newbies.
And do you think also there's an element of the world's changing, the roads are changing, vehicles are changing out there. So if you don't carry on learning, how are you keeping up with the changes that are happening around you?
No, absolutely. You're stagnant. Yeah. Roads are more and more busy, aren't they? And stuff changes. I think a good example is actually electric vehicles. You don't hear them. Well, yeah, all right, yeah, there's the bike here. But electric cars and things like that, it's different, isn't it? Yeah. Things are changing.
Exactly the point. The roads are changing. Yeah. So you've had a walk around the event, you like what we're doing.
I do.
You've brought the sunshine with you. Have you managed to get enough stamps to go and get yourself a free cob?
I've virtually collected the stamps which got me an actual sandwich, which is very nice, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for coming out today. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thanks so much.